Hi everyone, this is your girl Kitumile Mulekwa, Kinale Brian Senamadi, Ritlile Legacy Lifestyle. Today on our show, this is the second episode, and we're gonna be covering a different topic. Today we will be covering something else.
Yeah, hi again. Ke Brian Senamadi Legacy Lifestyle. Today we go bolela ka bullying. As we all know, hore bullying now ke se tlhoba boroko batswadi ba bantshi ba lla ka hore bana ba bona ba bulliwa. So just we want to know hore ke eng tse causing bullying and re etsa eng hore avoid hore bana ba rena ba ska bulliwa. Like so a ke itse man, because of as re bolela ka bullying, there is this guy we were covering his story o lorong o tlhokofetse le ena ka taba ya bullying. So o tepolaile na bula ke teacher the way lorong family ba boletse ka teng, because of remember hore teacher ya hae nabalola lebitso la the word usually.
Yes.
Bare teacher the guy would say teacher hore usually I spell we so then teacher atoma afa ngwana di threats and what balola that way until ngwana tepola. So let's see when
Oh, Brian, yeah, I guess one story. So I was following the story from when it started, when you posted it. The guy, I believe the learner's name ke Mphoentle. He was studying sport. Is it a high school or?
It's a secondary.
It's a secondary school, yeah. So normally, Brian, Rina, when we're talking about bullying, most of the times we expect hore itlaba ngwana mong a bullia ngwana mong go sekolong. But now it came as a shock to me when I learned hore there are teachers by long hore they do that to our children go sekolong. I was so shocked when I saw it, and ke zamile ho nya go tlhalohanya mara how does that happen? But I sat down and then I tried to understand hore mara what could be the reason why this guy felt hore aga treat ngwana batho so. The story was the boy velo correctile teacher ka mo classing, and I believe for maybe because of ego and all that, the teacher felt disrespected. I'm not too sure about the tone that he used to correct the teacher, but I believe for as a person who bereka le bana or bereka le batho, there has to be an emotional intelligence, a certain level of emotional intelligence when you are faced with someone who disrespect, especially who bereka le bana. Understand? I think there's an approach maybe they get trained, or when a child behaves like this is how you're supposed to react. And I don't believe for the way the teacher reacted is how the department or their superiors or their trainers baba training thing, because he became defensive and then attack why are you doing that, why are you saying that, something like that.
But I don't know mara I think my teacher ba tlhabantse bana le di issue, especially mo baneng. Remember my teacher ba ne di favorites a bona. You remember na ka nako tsa rena jo na teacher na khonuka a tshwere pipe jo ya o chupela jo ba ka o beta. So like you can see where the teacher ba ka bantse ba ne di favoritism tsa bona. Go ne bana ba le go sekolong teacher wa itse gore o ka morata ba bang ba khone re ntshongwe le ngwe ngwana o tla pele, maybe because of o tlhalifile or bjang. So ele yona e twist because of it means gore hantshi di ma teacher re itse ba rata bana ba tlhalifile and ba le ba di slow learner ba fella di pelo ba etsa. So now ngwana o tlhalifile o khone correct that teacher wa bona. So a kitse gore byanong e ya gore teacher a tlhoe ngwana le o khona go itse gore spelling se so then we etsa hala eng wa bona. But my teacher a mantshi ba tla bantse bana le natural hate mo baneng ba bang gore no is my favoritism or as my favoritism. So they can like aba khono rata bana ba botle, or it's because of bana ba le ka mo classing ke ba bantshi o ka se ba rata ba botle. I don't know.
Lerato Brian, especially when you're dealing with kids, doesn't work like that. Even if when I feel at heart this child of like pilwaga ya like madia ka le hai atsamisa ya khona ha le nna ngare ke tlhakana le wena no ona le samana, so akara lore ke thoma ke like automatically I'm connected to you, understand?
Yeah,
that thing. But when you are working with kids, you have to be able to contain that. It's gaba obvious. So problem ya ma teacher you feel okay ngwana a ke morati man, I don't know hore tla bo hira hetseng a morati to a point ra feletse a montshitse go wena go rata. That thing is very dangerous, Brian, because bona ngwana when he was bullied, the first thing he did before la dilo tse ntšhatlo ya go high a irang o ile go principal, because I believe okay at least the principal maybe o tla fitla a stabilize the situation, aba neutral. Anya go tlhaloganya ro story king. No, it didn't happen like that. principal le yena o sa itile le teacher ya ba gore ngwana o la ke yena a leng wrong automatically wa tlhaloganya. So ke nagana gore get this thing ya hore when you have a problem with someone, when you have a problem with a child, you go around the school, you paint them bad. You want everyone to be against them. So maybe that teacher hated the child so much so that already local principal and specifically so ya re ngwana la atloha a ilo botsa principal already has that picture ya ro ke ngwana o ngwana vele o wan tlhaloganya. So it's dangerous. You can't be a teacher and want to have favorites ka mo sekolong, because you leave home. When we take our children to school, we expect that they're going to be protected. They're having secondary parents go school, which are the teachers. So it was very sad. It was very sad because a boy child I decided now it's better he's run out of options and the situation goes for
especially matriculant.
He was a matriculant. Already he's going under a lot of stress. My matric, matric it comes with a lot of stresses. This person already every little piece so that I can focus. But now you are pushing him, you are shutting him out as a teacher, as a principal. You don't protect a child. So if you come along, if you clean a thing, offense, it's better I just take myself because no one cares.
But could I put this howly anchor biano di ma teacher ki sort of batsodi ba rena wa itlhalwanya. So santsho understand ngwana, santsho itse gore ngwana how o so ngwana ha so is only a teacher. So I just want to understand gore motho ha etsa ngwana mongwe so ba hai ko hai o ba treata bang or ka gore ba le o la so hai then like a care o care fela ka ba hai.
Mental health issues still the problem is when you're taking your issues that person already maybe high from maybe in the morning he fought with the wife or whatever he did go high. I don't think it maybe or that hatred hatred. I believe for this person and then he's lashed out on the child. And then when we grow up, I remember I was studying Setswana ko sekolong no hona le seane se sembare ngwana ntae ke golae tlhogo putswa ga semolao, which means as a parent or as an adult as you are, o ka correcta ke ngwana o monnyane. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that to understand. Doesn't mean wholly 50 years old or 60 years old you are perfect, you know everything. Hona le molong hore you're going to be wrong and then ngwana monnyane wa tla wa correcta. What's so difficult about that? What's so embarrassing about that? Molong hore motho ka felletsa a bone hore a mistreat ngwana because o mo correctile. It doesn't make sense. Hence, batho batla from go batlang go teng bana le mathata and then they take out their frustrations on the wrong people. Yeah. My earring fell, but it's fine. Story for another day. Okay. So, batho batla ntse bana le mathata a bona and they take out their frustrations on the wrong people. So, unfortunately, Mphoentle ibile a victim of that. Yes. But Brian, because Mphoentle was a victim, unfortunately we lost him. I think we can stop Kayen because this is now getting out of hand. But abatla from high bale shapo jiki ngwana o ba sekolong o ruruhile ka mkhono bolela hore re tlhabethiwa ka di pipe. This thing has been happening. Yeah. You know ba re da kana ko ya rena I get man run a really generation a different man things we used to let them go, but that doesn't mean how na ba learning they are living with the effects. There are some people ba learning no they are living with the effects of being bullied go sekolong, not by the fellow learners but by the teachers.
I wanna be na kola sinki ba cancel corporal punishment. Like that's why my teacher akitse because of yena ke teacher o nyaka dignity ela ya gore bana ba teacher ba re respectiwa gore ha ka itse ba ma teacher a khale na khona he sekolo tsene ha eme mo gating e o kashiana go ro kashiano gore ke teacher ela ha le ka re le rasa ma teacher ba ile meeting then le na la di class di rasa ha le ka mona a feta Why kalwa? But I think no man, that's wrong. Bana santse ba krele rat. Bana santse ba feel safe gore re go sekolong. Ke na le teacher eso a re ngwana a telle teacher. But ngwana o be le gore wa itse gore es na re bula ka taba tsa gore bana o kra ba tlhabane le mathata go hae. So o lo tshepa byang gore a ka bola le wena. Ngwana yes, ngwana santse o tshepe gore no, this is my teacher. Then o khono o lo ena o khono identify gore mara ngwana o a right, ngwana o right. I like ngwana santse a o bone, ha o bona a tshoge, ngwana a o tshabe. Nahana no o botsa teacher maybe okay, lo ena usually how maybe ka mkhola gore motho tlhale hae o tshwege stress, o shutitse LA1. It happens. Then ha fetsa he ngwana o botsa gore no say this is not how you spell it. Then when our kwat ke sa itse ngwana maybe we boletse bana ba class ba tshe because bana ba class le bona apena go mo jo santse le belene both side bana ba class bona go ba ka wetsa skyla because of anything we yetsang kwa o no mongwa o mong o etse ha tshe a bilo tsa gore o utlwale then what tenega wa bona. So we don't know a kemelle motho but a ritse re itlile byang until gore ngwana la lena a feletsa re no e re nna ke tepolai even though no re lebeletse no e hetile family ai le yena ngwana la e mo hetile but we don't know gore itlile byang motho a itseng gore itlile byang ke bana ba sekolo le yena the teacher wa bona.
Yeah, so Brian ke ka mkhwe ke bolelang gore you have to have this certain intelligence ba bitsa emotional intelligence. Yes, bana ba tshehile but you are a teacher. What are you doing about it? Are you going to lash out at the other learner because bana ba bang ba tshehile? Why bona re byang? So you are not utlisa botlhoko and you also feel disrespected as an adult because you are a teacher, you're an adult at that particular point. That person is making a remark at the end of the day the other learners are laughing about it. It's embarrassing. But now you bring yourself back with thinking I'm the teacher here. If there's a way this learner, if I am Tarapila, let it be out of the classroom. I take that learner, take him to the principal, sit him down to say, you know what, such remarks, next time when you have something like this, please come to me, don't make noise in class because now you are distracting my lesson. You have to have a mature conversation. Kana we're talking about a child he was in matric. That person is an adult. You can sit them down and speak to them. Unlike ngwana wa 2 seconds doing the same thing. Now you're talking to a matriculant. You are dealing with a matriculant. What's so difficult about taking that person out? You know what? After my class, can I please meet with you? Let's have this conversation. Those are the kind of teachers at this time. More community or more country. And then another thing that you mentioned letaba you were talking now obolela ka hore bana ba tshegana ba children, they come from different backgrounds. Children, they come from different backgrounds. Unfortunately, ba bangwe ba tlo ba so ba bang ba tlo ba so ba o tsheha ba tlo phela ntse ba le teng. So are you always going to victimize learners because a certain Kitumile Moleko was laughing at the back when that person was one? So this thing is not just about an individual, it's a generic thing. You are a teacher. Next year the class is moving, there's going to be another group of matriculants. Le bona ba tla ka di characteristics tsa bona tse different. How are you dealing with those different characters as a teacher?
And how I think sometimes it's good for like I'm covering the boy who correctly teacher. I think teacher if I am maybe I'm after school and then maybe an asset come classing I'm meet or I'm little going come you know what the way we don't little in akarata solely so but ask Maragam killing, it shows hormone, it was not a first thing. It shows every time. And remember happy hor by the teacher lo mutu norika kopana go plaking or kamo and vivi. So how do you do that? Like Joe, you are a parent and after when obotangwa no munyan or norika kopana. Bana the emotions take out one. Maybe maybe it's history how go tsa malema gutsumela then wana motoro kopana go ntle ni wala wa itse jo batho ba le ba ilompola then wana re no lo re ba mpolai ka pale na ka tepola. You know that there's a case is like hell like bolla sone ntate moholo wa bo mosadiaka ke malume wa mma mosadiaka. It happens gore na ile December na li one, so highly December a go dile socially then bana o ne se tlhasa di perekishi then bana ba tla go ntlong ya hae ka rena ile bana yana ba block o itse dinkutsa go meletswane go dipompong di jarta teng di distancenyana ya so bana ba le ba tla ba go khopela diperekishi okay a ba kwela ba kha after an hour family ya bana ba le ba tla ba re no re ipile bana ba rena then we itse ro tshwarisa then ntata mkhala ba modimo like wezi jo some people are ka mkhula are react to tshwana o itse utlwa that thing ya tronko a tshwara ke stress a etsanga etsa kana ripa motho mara utlwa ba ro repile motho mara e mo tshwarisa stress gore yo ene ba kana ba bolele na pila ba rohana ba letsa dipempeta eng wa tshwara so ntatola o itse a sno utlwa ka mkho a tswa a tsama a chaba re monyakile close to 9 months to 10 months re mo krile go squing motho na di sha di khomu and then a mona go squing a teengile a tepolaile and only to find out gore bana ba le ba etsa di DNA wa to atazangwa ba le ripa zangwa ba leng but motho lo o tepolaile so you can see gore batho a react dilo the way di tlang gore na ka o tshwana so le ena ngwana la ke show gore teacher itsa sona mmotsa so le ena a itsa ine beto ya gore yo motho wa etsa so then I rather take out my life ka mkhole mokhalabe a itseng ba mmotso repile bana mara a itsile gore a ba rip mara a bona gore a tsamaya a ilo tenga go screen
yeah no that's true but we don't react the same way to fear to situations basically so as a teacher or as an adult there's a difference between being feared and being respected. Those are two different things. I don't think as a normal human being or as a normal adult you celebrate or banabanchaba. That is so, you know, it has to make you uncomfortable. You have to go back and question your character. Or okay, when they are around this particular person, but respect, but they are fine. But they are scared. What is it that I'm doing wrong? You go back to the drawing board. So I think my teacher that thing they feel comfortable ho chabiwa than ho tlhomphiwa. They are more after fear, after being feared than to be respected. So more case in your offense, if you feel the same thing.
Yeah. Mphoentle.
Oh, Mphoentle. Oh, okay, sorry.
Mphoentle.
So I'm trying the whole time to get offense.
Wait, ke ne bothata ba re ke tsa ditori tse dintsi so le nna like I was recalling gore kana ke ma so ya ke Mphoentle. So guys re bolla ka Mphoentle o lo reng o tsere bophelo ba hae ku di VV.
Yeah, a tsena go dashboard yeah. So Mpho ho ya ka yena o bile le fear ya hore yo ka nnete and then we itse hore it's not just about the teacher wa threaten it's also about bana ba sekolo ya o lumutlile o tlo greya that guy ba ntlhabanya and then ba re a few days after that nasa maki dilo tsa hae amaka amaka wa bona like email the position or wa bona now this thing is serious. It's more serious than I thought it was. Then abali fear ya hore yo and then this guy is going to humiliate me. Kana we also talking about reputation. We're talking about too many things. Kana this guy is going to embarrass me and abali fear and then adrenaline. I'm not good with biology by the way. I'm not good with biology, but I know there's one thing called adrenaline. So unfortunately he saw fit hore affectable pillow high. Because atuhil why wanna be bright. So it's more important to distinguish between fear and respect. Those are two different things. You have to look at them or no more aksa respect you feel like it's not normal. There's something wrong with my character that I have to change.
You know my teacher rabarata lerna hore be so ka jeno re khono ema so re bolele is because of my teacher. So but please guys like a ska fitla mo loreng wena ha o khala bana o etsang e feletso ka re wena you are bullying and then yetsala a se ma teacher feletsa mo ho le di parents wa ikhalwanya le di parents yes wa ikhalwanya so e mo ho because of wena o nyokore o be ba bona halo gore wena o so but remember bana every generation ho ka another different characters rena ma 80s a re tshwane ma 90s ma 90s a ba tshwane ma 2000 so you can see gore le bana le the way ba hengelang dilo a wa bona ma 2000 ba bokoa like ba skiring bokoa ba bona gore garbo soft but let me rephrase that I love that character ya ma 2000. Why ma 2000 they're outspoken,
they don't hold things. They don't hold grudges.
That's true, yeah.
If you do something wrong, they're going to address it, and they're going to address it now.
That's
which
true.
is strength. Elong horeng rena batswadi ba rena ne ba re tshosa rena Brian re reacted to things at the later stage. You realize I was not treated well, and as you grow old, those things they come back. The trauma.
That's
trauma rena. We are the injured adults, like because the lotela ne re di botla in. But with this generation yama Gen Z, 2000.
Hey. Oh, I don't know about 2000.
No, I love that. I'm telling you, when you're dealing with the victims of abuse, Brian, you'll realize that thing, it's very wrong. It's important to speak out. No, so that you let go and then you move on. But of which they are disrespectful. But also there's also disrespect in terms of 2000 they're exaggerating it. Yes, they speak out, but also one disadvantage because they end up exaggerating it if it turn into disrespect. But who speak out, I stand with them. Unfortunately, there's sometimes by in a wrong way if it's a disrespect.
So it means ho rena ma 80s ne le ma 70s ho ba buima hore ma 2000 re khono ba go ba align up because of rena re bana ba le ba re gotse ka difie re tshabo bolela, and then bona ba bolela tlhola go utlwa le mfana ka sometimes o bolela o tlo botsa gore no so go wrong so all right. So I think gore ke ka mkho bona ba bale, and es ke bolla ke re ba ntshwe ba tepanyana ba etsang like aba tshwane le rena nke rena ba nna re jama marogo na re bethwa ka mafekgo kra ka leso o kra ma ha o silikile a tsa leso ko rena re hotse ko apartheid life ya hore le batswadi na ba itse hore go discipline ngwana ke two wa itlhalwa which is wrong wa bona. So for ba no ba hore ba discipline ke ka mantswe sanse re nne le bona re ba discipline wa itlhalanya. Otherwise ka nke le seo then we itse wa mo loser ngwana sanse o itse wa no wa le 2000 gore ma 80s ma 70s bana ba rena gore ba address ke lentswe ena nkere ba re lentswe le bua seaka. So ra re lentswe ha o mmoditse go fedile.
Yeah. And another thing happy Brian o lebelle
no, continue is fine.
Okay.
It's called distract.
Okay. So the way the way dilo di rahalang ka teng hona benong le ka mkhone di rahala ka teng na kwela, things are totally different. Hey, things are totally different. Bana ba no, most of them they living with what we call ADHD.
Okay.
Yeah? It's a condition. O graba na bateng ba hyperactive. Ba hyperactive. O gra ngwana teng a sa controllehe. I don't know, maybe we used to have it back then, but I think now it's most common. A lot of kids are living with that. So, you see that the child, there's something wrong with them. You don't just go around because the moment you say it, and most especially because people teachers would say it goes you don't do that, because when you do that, the other children that child often let a victim because ba felletsa ba le bona bana ba bang ba dlalla mo di matlho ya ha ile ha se aside next ba thoma ba re hey ke mang because ba ituring already ma teacher ba itse o stone. And then even if le ka moetsa this and that I don't know re ba tlo motse ya serious because they already know hore yena o stone. We had a case, unfortunately ara khona ho follower SKC lifestyle go Temba go Hammanskraal where I'm coming from. It's a neighboring school, could be primary school. I'm not going to say much about it, but yeah, it's a case of bullying. I get you know about it. It's a boy child who was raped by other kids, 5 kids. I think they said they go that phase grade 7 and so. And then when you try to find story who lady wataba ya hore ngwana o stole. That was the first mistake. When you see as a teacher there's a problem with the character ya ngwana, there's a problem with the behavior ya ngwana, the first thing you have to do is you have to involve body social work. They try to find out what's wrong with that child. You don't go around I don't believe you have to question why asa behave and you work around with that. And that thing, it has to be something along discreet. It's they already know or social worker because they know no one is going to take them serious. and ngwanola ha hola o chaba le ho reporter when something wrong is happening. Ngwanola ka he was seen by a neighbor, abona a change of or whatever, or he said something and then the neighbor noticed. Mama ha nna lena ka montlong abona selo, a child was raped before dikolo di tlotswalla for March. They only found out after, I get, or 2 days before the dikolo di tlobula. So even the mother did not notice. Why? Because ngwanola ke believe o bana le fear ya hore le ha a tlhakana le mathata go sekolong a sa bolela, because they are twisted dilo di jikang ka re ke ena le bileng wrong because now ke ngwana mo stout. So such words you have to be careful as adults when you're saying them. Don't say such things mo pela bana ba bang, because le bona ba felletsa ba etsang ba kgatella ngwanolo ra o stoutu le re ka mo rape ra etsa eng, we can do that ba experimental ka yena ngwana ha o felletsa ile victim ya everything a bad.
And ka mokhobolang o right ke tumile because of wetsi ngwana like how nontso mmotsa selo o mo lebelele monyane o khona re o mmotsa something o kra botso rena ke stoutu. Why because of when o etsa gore ntshwela e grow build up mo yena wa ibona. So I think gore le bona bo di principal ka mokhoboletseng gore ngwana o stoutu, it's a wrong way. It means gore eno tshwale no ko sekolo, you know, like ko sekolo ga bile bana ba ntshi ba buliwa le nna na go ke selo monyane na ke buliwa mara ke sa itse o kra ho tsana go una le mfano yana ke tsana go classing on droile ke na le ntsombanyana mo kra ndroile abile droile ntsomba ile ntsomba wa ikhalwanya. So you can see hore mara this guy is bullying me and bana ba class ba tsheya kwa na hana jo ke kha motho droile le tsa o kra jo, you know, like batho jo ba re bula na hana le tsa hore no ne wena go o itse ne bana ba go sekolong like moshi ba narato bula batho re sa itse o ne monyana ke skobonyana o kra o itse mirra bana ke la dikafurare o mothile mabitsa ke blanca o itse no motšhino mbiana wa di nai galon o mo mbiana mpopong ba re ke blanca o ka re ke tshwenyinyana blanca o bona tso bitsa o thoka mabitso and go sekolong e re go botse it happens every time go ne ngwana mo o itse mabitso a batho ba botlhe bana ba le ha o le sekobo ka tshehiwa like Joe.
So Brian, it's so sad. It's so sad because now you grow with that thing. When you're fortunate enough, you grow with it. But the effect is that but they're not strong enough. But you are still here. Now there's probably a certain someone they lost their lives the same as Mpho. But not strong enough to withstand that. That bullying and everything. So about the characters are different and we react differently to situations. So we have to be careful. We have to mind what we're saying around certain people. Understand? Just one, like a carriage or at least this, you know, but whether because you're saying it now for the last time ever last straw like now we're living in a very painful time.
I know last one social media, especially with Facebook. Yo ho ketse di batho ba o bula mola ke ba thoka ba te playing ba bula and a ke tlhalonyo re ba etsa so and ke di parents.
I'm telling you,
o tshwana le o ne ngwana mo mbeana sa le ba mo kreya a ke tsuru kreka bona na itsule ka khwaere wa misa la trenda a re ba tse di moshimano mongwe ka na ba eva sex a ke tse ba tsere ke mang video ba perisa paro man.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yo,
no,
that thing it trended. So like Joe, like le bula bana ba batho guys. I mean imagine wena no a o nyeke ngwana ha o a buliwa ko sekolong ha o nyeke ngwana ha o buliwa mara wena o bula batho mo social media.
It's so sad, hey. It's really sad, and it's a reality. The influencers now, they are making it a trend. Like it could even a norm. On the last episode, I did mention a certain influencer. Unfortunately, I'm going to mention the same individual again. The person is a bully. Not only is the person a bully, but they also tend to have like a racism inside, because the same lady Olonghoringi called him out. He has a boyfriend. The boyfriend is of a different race, but that guy was making fun of that person. I'm at label like the race. Why one or so repelali adults by Longhoringi. They are adults but the mentality you swear when we see such things because they keep on doing them. I believe Brian, when we're having topics like this, we are hoping or we are changing things. So when we're having such sittings, we are hoping or different. But unfortunately, it gets worse. So we're dealing with people they still do the same thing. We're talking about, they still come back and do it again. That is bullying. You know what, this thing, according to the society, it's not fine, but you still repeat it. Why?
Yes, I think re fight this thing ya di bullies ke taba tsa re santse re thome ka rena re change. Let's start go reach gore social media I maintainiwa bjang ha re koleng go bula batho through social media. We know gore batho ba rata di trend, especially bola ka di influencer. Motho wa itse o neng di followers tse dintšhe ene ha ka posta ntshwe bjana the new trend wa itlhalwanya. So why are you promoting such things? I think the influencers santse batho ba loreng ke bona ba loreng ba motivate batho, unlike ebe bona ba loreng ba lakhetsa batho ba etsa eng. Guys, we know for social media we want it to be fun, re nyoko le bala mathata, re nyoko etsa eng, but let's do it in the right way. Ha re kolang go bula batho, and it's not the first time batho ba ntse ba tepela mo social media because of bullying. Batho ba ntse ba tepela every day because of wena wa mo trendisa, mara nke be le wena na o ile feel bjang wena ba o etsa dilo tseo. Hone le batho ba mbana, like I still remember there was another video ya mo o kra o ka re batho ba go lona ba ile go squing hona ko mahenko ba have the sex and what, then someone like a phone aba shoot, like Joe, when every time you want things to trend, why nefa tshobala le batho ba pila gore why are you doing this mo go sole ntso ngwe no ke phone hape one beno ha re tsamaya o make sure gore o itse keng o tetebeletse gore o bya le rena no, cause batho no santse ba reach. I know gore ha kile go di molong ha kile ka santse ke tetebelo go itse keng, so because of people every time motho ano go ntsha dilo in a negative way. No, let's not we know gore batho ba so ba teng re ka reng cause mo lefatseng hona le bad and evil, so gore ba le nantse ba re bula go di primary no ba hodile ke batswadi, so they are still continuing country, but they must call into an order. Guys, what you are doing, it's wrong. Hone beno wena ngwana hao ha o nya gore a itse the abuliwa a itse cause ke ngwana hao o feel botlhoko, but stop doing lo wena go bathong ba bang, because when you are doing it indirect, but when we put on no, now I'm just making a joke. Batho ba ntse ba swile because of the joke. O itse mabane re tlhabile ne ke fitile majita mang bantse ba nwa di whiskey ba iketlile ba ntse ba tshega mbutsisa aya fela pila ke itse re phutha re ya high ke holuwa ba thana ka mabotlolo, and more I think gore thomile fela ka di joke wa bona lotse le tsona tsa wa bona go gwerana. Yeah, that's the problem. Wena le o mong isikhali wa kwata, then o thoma bano e ba it's in the wrong way wa itlhalwanya. So dilo tsa go gwerana, dilo tsa gore wena you make etsa joke ya hao pila make etse pila gore motho le ena a thabe a etseng. So how e etsa worse, then ba ka re bana o motsisa ka batho, is part of bullying. Wa bona, and le ma teacher, please guys, ha rate bana ba botlhe ba ke bana ba le wena ngwana hao ko sekolong sa hae o ka se thabe ba metsa ntse ba etsa, especially e tlamole re ngwana ko mafelong o tsaya bophelo ba hae. So that thing has stopped. So I think it's enough, and then re ka kopana happen our next episode ke 2 million. Then thank you for a step sa gore no, you know what Brian, I want to do this show lwena because of I want to be a motivator. I want to a voice. I want to be a voice ko bathong ba utlwe ke ba botse no guys, let's do this and this. These are not just ordinary topics, and we know some people di ka ba touch ba ba makaetsang mara ba ile ba hatini concert sorry but se salang wrong e ka se be right.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much for having me. I know you have a very busy schedule and all that, but I'm glad that we are covering such topics because it's time that we stand up. We've been having victims for so long. We've been having victims for so long, and these things they start now what you wanna do. The next thing they're happening right inside your yard. So we have to do something before it gets to that, you know. And unfortunately, we are affected and infected by this whole situation, but we can change if we continue having topics, if we continue having engagements from the public to say, guys, this is the situation. We had a story. That's why like to use the situations radibona, so that we can be able to say, now this is the situation, this is Mphoentle, this is Mphoentle, what are we doing with these things, how are we going to solve this going forward, because it's very sad. We're losing kids, we're losing, the future is dying right in front of our eyes. The future is perishing. So I'm grateful for being here.
Yeah, no, I'm signing out, guys. And then I think our next topic e o ne le banna ba neng le tsogo e ba klapa ma e ba le betha banna ba yo monna mona wetse ke go re hanyo go a rebisiwa bona mosedi ka thomare o fast ka mo. So I think we should talk ka banna ba ba so gore how do we control our emotions because of arena self control mo baneng ba batho ba ba pila ba ntshongolengwe nna o nyoko proof point ya gore wena o na le seaka wena santsha o chabe wena wa beta wena wa raga motho kra raga ngwana batho ka raga bo
yo right dilo tse re dilang ka tsona. You just have a kid to level ya tolerance. Like if over dilo tse re dilang le tsona, it's sad.
But let's save it for another day, guys. Yeah, ke Brian Sinwamadi, ke na le Kitumele Molekwa, and I think we are signing out, guys.
Thank you.